Welcome, viewers. Today we are going to discuss about a very different subject. It's not going to be medicine. It's not going to be diseases. It's not going to be corona. It's going to be the lives of villagers that live in far-flung areas in Uttarakhand, for example, and many parts of India, who have been terrorized by man-eating animals. Particularly, we are going to talk about the leopards today and the leopards of Uttarakhand and what kind of terror they can create among the villagers and how the authorities uh, of the wildlife, they try to contain that terror and try to help the villagers and try to neutralize. And we have two very, very important people with us today who'll be talking about that. And so the subject is going to be man-eating leopards primarily. And I have the best man to talk about that with me, Mr. Sohag, who actually acts as the chief conservator of all the wildlife in Uttarakhand. And I've seen him work endlessly and day and night, in fact. I've spent many hours with him, and it was a privilege. So, welcome, Mr. Sohag, on our show to give your a lot of very important inputs on how the life in those far-flung villages is and how you try to contain those things. Mr. Sohag, welcome.
Thank you.
I
Thank you, Dr.
I also I also have with me a young budding shooter, a marksman who has represented India, and he is and has been an international shooter, and who has recently shot two man-eater leopards and made the villagers very happy, who must be terrorized by them. And this thing happened recently in just about the last 4 to 6 weeks, and he was much in the news for those reasons. And I would like to introduce to you Saeed Ali.
Hi,
Saeed, how are
hi.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. So you did your telescope, adjustments today, and you did it very well with your new telescope. Well, you need these things for your ace marksmanship when it comes to putting a bullet in a an animal which is out to destroy human beings. So you have to be very accurate, you have to be very courageous, and you have to be a dead shot. And that is what you are. And so you need a scope. I always say a rifle is as good as the telescope that you use.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
welcome, Ali, on the show. Um, Let me start with Mr. Sohag. Mr. Sohag, what do you do to ensure that the safety of villagers, um, for the from the man eaters, especially the leopards, how do you ensure the safety of villagers? I know it's a challenge, and I know there's a widespread area in Uttarakhand, but how do you keep a control on those things? I also know that you have a lot of force, a lot of people to help you out, but it's still a humongous task. So how are you managing all that?
Yeah. In remote areas of Uttarakhand, because people go for to answer the nature call, either late in the evening or early in the morning. Most of the most of the injuries or casualties have been during this time. We have been trying to identify the sensitive areas and giving them solar lights. And because of new initiative by our Prime Minister, they are having toilets in their own house. So of late, casualties are decreasing. Number two, these leopards have habits of staying in habitation area. We have already collared four leopards, and they have the homing instinct. We have released them 45 to 57 kilometers away from the habitation. But after 4 days, they again went back. And there's a myth that leopard don't cross river. They are afraid of river or water. But we have seen, we have radio collared them, we are observing their movement every hourly. They have crossed Ganga and went over. Now they have come back to the uh, place in the forest. They have got their own prey base and they are staying there. Number two, despite the perception, leopards are the most uh, injurious, like very dangerous to the people. But if you see the statistics, the most injuries have been caused by bear in last 3 years. From January to October, 71 people were injured by bear as compared to 58 by leopard. This is because of climate change. The hibernation period is delayed. They are moving to the habitation. Yeah.
Right. And there must be a situation where you decide to declare leopard as a man-eater. I mean, there are human conflicts. So, what prompts you to declare that as man-eater that it is not just a conflict but gone beyond a conflict?
Yeah. If they injure some person, male, female, something, if they are with cuffs, they do it because of insecurity. They want to save their kids, cubs. But if they eat a man or woman, not once, twice or thrice, then we feel they are dangerous to the human habitation and they have to be destroyed. And we have seen in 99% cases, like Ali killed one man eater, we found canines were not there, their paws were destroyed, and they were not able to uh, search for the prey. They were used to it. If we would have
Mhm.
left them alone, they would have killed more people.
Yes, yes, yes. So you have those telltale signs
Yeah,
at the time of postmortem when you do.
exactly. Not postmortem. Even before the shooter kills, they observe their movement, whether they are weak or they have some weakness or not. Ali has left two leopards because he felt they are not the man-eaters. When he saw they have signs of it, he shot them. And after postmortem, we realized yes, it was a man-eater. Yeah.
Yeah. Ali, what was
Hi.
your first experience like? I want to know from you. I know you were very excited, and
Yeah.
Mr. Sohag, Ali ने मुझे सुबह 4 बजे मैसेज भेजा सुबह 4 बजे, which I of course saw at 7 a.m. when I got up in the morning. He sent a message, job done, something like that. Just very brief, job done. So I was excited to read that, and so I got in touch with him in the morning, so to get all the details. So Ali, tell me the first man eater that you shot. How exactly did you take him? Before that, before Ali, before you come to that point, let me tell the viewers that these managers are so vicious. They can be so vicious and they can be so smart, so clever, you cannot imagine. And these man eaters, now let me give you an example which of the leopard of Rudraprayag, on which books have been written, who actually killed something like 250 human beings. 250 human beings, out of which about 125 were recorded, the others were not recorded. And they were in the records in the British Times in the year 1918, 100 years ago. And Jim Corbett was then requested to neutralize that, and it took him 1 year, 1 year of endless efforts to be able to neutralize that. And because that leopard was so smart, he was killing people, killing in their homes, breaking open their doors, going in and killing sleeping people. And stealthily, there are two things that it does. It attacks when everybody is not expecting. So that is the stealth. And it does it so quietly that even people sleeping nearby may not even know that one person is gone. So these are the things that Jim Corbett has described. How the leopard went into the room, broke open the door, picked one of them, and took away, ate 200, 300 meters away, ate half the body. And, some people didn't even know that the one person is missing. And
Yeah,
if he has to attack humans, it would not touch a goat or a sheep. It would just attack the human. Even if in a confinement, there are 30, 40 goats in a room, it would go into the room, just pick the human, take it away, and most of the time that particular leopard did not even allow any shriek or any noise from the human being. So that was the efficient machine, a deadly machine. They can act like that. And as they grow in their prowess as man eaters, they actually become so smart because they learn the human behavior. They know that this is a shikari, this is a hunter. They recognize the weapon. They also recognize that the hunter is chasing them, but they want their timing. Unless they are sure that you are unaware of the presence of the animal, they will not attack you. They are so smart. So anyway, uh, this is I'm just trying to explain to you so that you understand what kind of an enemy you are confronting with, when you come face to face. And whether you are in a machan or you're on the ground chasing and following this animal, this is a deadly game. So Ali, please explain to us how you were able to, as a rookie, you were a young 28-year-old lad, young rookie. You had the enthusiasm, and you had the drive, and you had the skill of a marksman. So how did you get the first one?
hi. Uh, it was my first experience with the man-eating leopard in the Uttarakhand, as it was very new to me in the hill terrain. So we reached there at the after a drive of overnight drive, and we started doing the observes of the area and everything. And finally, at the one spot, it was our first kill, where was the first human conflict was there, uh, just nearby that area, about 200 or 200 meters away from that. At 4 a.m. in the morning, I sighted that particular leopard, which is the man eater. When we sighted, his movements and behavior were usually not like a normal leopard do. The activities was too different, and he tried to hide us, uh, and he actually just went into a deep uh, in the bushes uh, of the landscape, and I taken a shot. It was a neck shot, and there was only a one shot. So after a few seconds, he just slipped down from that particular point, and I said it's shot dead. And after a few minutes, after observing that there is no movement in the dead body, uh, we just drag him and pull it up, and we saw, and it was a male leopard, a big one, and the claws and the canines were damaged, were not perfectly fit for having a natural kill. So that was my experience in the hill terrain.
अली, ये जो जहाँ पे पिथौरागढ़ की बात है ये,
Right.
और आपने वहाँ विलेजर से भी बात किया. Were they happy when they learned that you have neutralized this deadly
Yeah,
leopard?
yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole area was but too happy, and there were about 4 to 5 village which were connecting to that Pithoragar nearby. They were all the villagers were too happy that finally the area is safe from the man-eater.
Yeah. यू सी इन इन जगहों पे जहाँ पे ये मैनेस हो जाती है मैन ईटर लेपर्ड्स की, अम, जैसे सुहाग साहब ने शुरू में बताया कि अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग एंड लेट इन द इवनिंग,
Right.
they kind of are more vulnerable
Right.
to get attacked by these animals. लेकिन also, you know, कई जगह पे जैसे ही अंधेरा होता है वहां पे लोगों की मूवमेंट खत्म हो जाती है, और कोई घर से बाहर नहीं निकलता डर के मारे। और यहाँ तक कि जो जिस रुद्रप्रयाग लेपर्ड की मैं बात कर रहा था पहले, वहां तो कॉर्बेट जिम कॉर्बेट राइट्स सो वेल कि लोग ऊंची आवाज में बात नहीं करते थे, घरों में दरवाजे डबल लॉक लगाते थे, दो दो रिइंफोर्समेंट की हुई थी, और खुसर पुसर, यू नो, हश हश में
Right.
बातें
Right.
करते थे ताकि कहीं बाहर लेपर्ड ना बैठा हो। हालांकि लेपर्ड का एरिया 500 स्क्वायर माइल्स था, 500 स्क्वायर माइल्स, उसके बावजूद वो खुसफुस करके बात करते थे कहीं सुन के अंदर ना आ जाए। यहाँ तक कि दहशत, दिस इज कॉल्ड रियल टेरर। और जैसे ही रात हुई, लोगों की मूवमेंट, दुकानें बंद, कोई सड़क पे नहीं, कोई सड़क या गलियों में कुछ नहीं। सो ये सारी सिचुएशन, तो नेचुरली जब एक बार पता चल गया कि अब वो एनिमल न्यूट्रलाइज हो गया, तो ऑब्वियसली बड़ी राहत की बात होती है उन लोगों के लिए। और खासकर जो बच्चे और लेडीज पे थोड़ा रिलेटिवली और भी ज्यादा इनका अटैक के चांसेस रहते हैं।
Right.
Ali, what was your second experience?
Oh, second experience was my. It was too dangerous to actually. We. I did observe the area. It was the same district, Pithoragarh, but the village was different from the first one, and this time it was a female. And traveled and about 10 days in the hills and uh, did stalking on ground by tracking them, but I couldn't get able to find that leopard, that particular leopard. Actually, after one day, I received a call from one of the localite in that area that we had sighted a leopard early in the morning in one of the hills, and and what he said कि हमें लगता है कि वो आज आज भी अभी भी यहीं है. So I asked the forest department to go over there, and I asked them कि just let's go over there after a lunch. And we went there, and we did the recce and everything and observed the area. And it was a hilltop. I just tracked about a 1 kilometers up on the hill it and reached on the hilltop. And there I use as a lifeboat and seated on a machan. But there was no machan to be made. There were no trees. So I decided to sit on a ground in the bushes. It was a very risky time. Actually, for a man eater, we need to put a machan about 22 feet above from the ground. But I test myself how much capable I am to do this. So I decided to sit on a ground overnight and wait for that leopard. And I just seated on a ground and I waited about 4 hours. After 4 hours, I heard a alarm call of a barking deer, and it was a movement of a leopard. And after 1 hour, I slightly observed a black shadow which is coming from the bushes toward the goat, and it was a dark. So I just, when he stepped his left leg, I observed the area and that vital part, which where I have to take a shot. So I taken a shot. It was a hard shot without a light on a ground, and just as I take as I shot it, one of the guy, my partner, he was sitting next to me, having a light in his hand, He said it, sir, ho gaya? And I said it, yes, we did it. And we just spot a light, switch on the light, and saw it was lying on the ground, and the goat was safe. So that was the experience. And after that,
Ali, yeah, that was
yeah,
a remarkable courage,
yeah,
because um, doing a this ground thing,
yeah,
that too in a dark night,
yeah,
uh, is not the best way to go about it. Though people have done it, and you have done it, you have succeeded, but in future that is still not the best way. Let's talk about why it is not the best way. Uh, Even Jim Corbett writes that he would prefer Machan rather than be on the ground. Reasons, reasons. One reason is, if the animal has to attack you, if the leopard has to attack you, it will give you probably 1 second or 1.5 or 2 seconds more before it reaches you by climbing up the tree, or 3 seconds. And that 2 or 3 seconds gives you enough time to shoot, reload, and shoot if you're smart enough.
yeah.
But on the ground, you are just one jump away. You see, so if the animal decides to attack you, if it is a man eater, if it decides that goat is not its favorite meat, it's human, he would rather discard the goat and take a jump at you. And if in the middle of the night, if it takes a jump at you, you're having a single shot rifle. It's not an automatic, and
It's not a double.
it's a single bullet. It is not a burst. So if it comes at you, he would take you. So Ali, you have done a remarkable job, very courageous job, and congratulations for that.
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
there is this warning for
From
future.
my side
Yes, Mr.
also.
Song.
Yeah,
From
Pardon?
my
yeah,
side,
Yeah. But
yes.
Ali, I'm a very experienced shooter. So I have done these things for
yeah,
50 years. So
yeah,
this is an advice that in future, being on the ground in a dark night is risking with huge danger. Now
yeah,
coming to मचान, हम मचान की बात कर रहे हैं. चाहे 22 फुट हो, 15 फुट हो, 18 फुट हो, अगर उसने आना है तो आ जाएगा. लेकिन वो मचान पे ये बड़ी मशहूर बात है कि मचान पे लोग बैठे रहते हैं, सारी सारी रात लगाते हैं. दे एक्चुअली बिकम जॉनर्स. जॉनर्स इज कि वो सारे सुबह उठ के आएंगे, कहेंगे किस्मत खराब है, सारी रात लगा दी मचान पे, लेकिन मैन ईटर तो आया नहीं. किल वहां पे है, whether it's a human kill or it's an animal kill, it is right there, and it's a fresh kill. You expect the leopard to come back there the next day, and you are waiting in the machan, yet it doesn't come, because the leopard is so smart. He knows that you are sitting in the machan. वो ये नहीं कि उसने आना नहीं था किल पे, उसने आना था, वो आया भी, और नजदीक से उसने जाके आपकी मूवमेंट्स को सही कर लिया, आपके उसने देख लिया. 18 गुना ज्यादा नजर होती है लेपर्ड की इंसान से. हम सोचते हैं कि हमें कुछ दिखाई नहीं दे रहा, उसको तो सब कुछ दिख रहा है, उसको तो दिन की तरह दिख रहा है. आपकी मूवमेंट, आप सोचते हैं कि मैं 6 घंटे से मचान में बैठा हूं, तो क्या आप मूव नहीं किए, आप हिले नहीं कुछ, थोड़ी सी मूवमेंट भी होती है तो वो बहुत एग्जैजरेट होके उसको दिख रही होती है. और leopard is an animal unlike reach, unlike this bear जो कि सर हिलाता रहता है. It keeps its head absolutely still. वो still head जो है, वो हल्की सी भी मूवमेंट को ऐसे कैप्चर करता. इसकी हियरिंग पावर 6 गुना 5-6 गुना ज्यादा होती है ह्यूमन से. तो आपको सुनाई नहीं चीज देती, आप सांस भी ले रहे हैं, आप हल्की सी मूवमेंट भी कर गए, उसको सुनाई दे जाती. सो हम मचान पे सोचते हैं कि हम जानवर आया नहीं, तो वो एक्चुअली आके चला जाता है वापस, क्योंकि ना वो आपको अटैक करना चाहता है, ना रिस्क लेना चाहता है अपनी किल पे जाने के लिए, क्योंकि उसको पता है कि आप उसको मारने के लिए बैठे हुए हैं. You know, these man eating leopards become so smart in these things. So जाबर साहब, मुझे ये बताइए कि इतना बड़ा काम है ये संभालना, सारे स्टेट के वाइल्ड लाइफ सेंचुरीज को आप कैसे मैनेज करते हो?
Look, we are trained officers, got it. And we analyze and we identify the sensitive areas. We focus on those areas. Like elephants का है, buffer zone में कहाँ पे जा रहे हैं. We have got interstate coordination meeting also. We keep observing. We have got many camera traps. We don't publicize where we have, but we keep looking. There is centralized system. We have got our own. We know border पे across the border because they keep moving. Because after carrying capacity, they try to spill out. Now we have been trying to have the habitat management. Like we are trying to take the weed out. We are having grasslands. Last year, Corbett Park, we have 750 hectare of weeds removed, and we have got grasses planted. Now we have got herbivorous. They are prey based. Now animals are not going out. If you see the tiger, the attacks by tiger is reduced to zero because they have got a lot of prey. Otherwise, they used to move around. They used to go up after the Corbett Park to the nearby fields. Same way for elephants also. We are doing this.
All right. And this
But latest trend is because of climate change, we are a bit worried about bears. The attacks of bears on human beings are increasing day by day.
hmm,
And problem with us is we can't radio collar them. All bears, female bears, are with their cubs, 2 cubs, 3 cubs. They're moving around Josimat, Pithagar. If we cage them, they'll break the cage.
uh-huh.
That is the problem.
All right, so it's difficult to radio collar the bear.
Yeah. But tigers are now they're set aside. They have got prey base, enough prey base. They are not moving around. Leopards are in habit of staying in near habitation. This we observed in radio collaring. We have radio collared 3 leopard. We have been observing for last 2 months their behavior. Come what may, if you take them away for 100 kilometers, they'll come back to the habitation. Same habitation where you catch them.
Mhm. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Uh, Mr. Sohag, how are you trying to preserve the legacy of Jim Corbett?
Uh, Look at we have got it like Jim Corbett in his last days, those when he was like Paulgar killing of leopard of Paulgar or Sita Bani. He stayed in Mokhani, Kaladungi. We have met the museum.
Yes, he was in Colorado.
We have got trails. We have got trails of Jim Corbett around Kaladungi. People
Yeah.
have been taken around. His all belongings are there in the museum, Kaladungi Museum. And
Yeah.
people are being made aware of, look at, he's not a hunter. He was conservationist. He was trying
Yes.
to help the local people.
Yes.
100 years
That's why
back,
he was so popular. That's why he was so popular.
70 to 80 years back, there was only one route to Badrinath, Kedarnath. That was only bridle path.
Yeah.
People, before going for those yatras, they used to do their pindadan. Most of the killings of the leopard in Rudraprayag or elsewhere were done on this path.
That's
Those
right. Yes.
old age people, helpless people, and they
Yeah.
were killed.
Yeah. This was the terror among the pilgrims. You know, there used to be
There was only
60,000
one.
pilgrims. In those days, there used to be 60,000 pilgrims every year.
Exactly.
And the victims
So
were,
very small pedal path and along the habitation of
yeah,
leopards.
yeah. Yes, 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 yes.
There were
Well,
chattis, there were chattis, like chattis in the
hmm,
sense dharamshalas all along, and
yeah,
people used to sit there. What you were saying, na? They used to break open and they used to snatch, and no
yeah.
one. Those are the areas.
Those things were happening. Yes, absolutely. Well, very interesting chat with you, Ali. What is your next aim?
I
Aim,
just pray.
aim,
I
aim.
pray.
Not just this aim. Aim.
Yeah. uh, my dream is what is I'm working just to serve for my country as being a sport person. It is
Very
my
good.
first priority.
Yeah. And you're
In
helping
any
the
Yeah,
some part of section of society
yeah,
by kind of ridding them of these terror activities of some of these man-eating leopards, and by putting your own life in danger. So that is something which people should appreciate, that it is not a sport. You are kind of confronting a deadly
Exactly.
predator,
He's
and
putting his life in
so
danger.
you have to be very courageous, you have to be very smart, and you have to be very swift, quick, with very good reflexes, and you should know what you're doing, and of course you have to be a good marksman. So that is fantastic, and
Shortly,
I'm glad to know
shortly,
about you.
very shortly, Ali will be part of translocation of tigers in the operation of tiger next week.
Very good, Ali. So
thank
you'll
From
be
you,
a part of
thank
the
you,
transportation of the tiger.
after 2 days, he'll be there. He'll be part of the
thank you,
team.
Excellent. Very good,
th-
fantastic.
thank you,
Uh,
thank you.
and Mr. Sohag, you have been doing a fantastic
Thank
job.
you.
I'm a witness to that, and I enjoyed your hospitality while I was on the visit. But the way you were in the middle of the night till 10:30 p.m., your DFOs were giving you information about radio
You
calling and
won't
so many
believe,
other things. I mean,
last,
I thought
last,
you work
last,
24/7.
last radio calling was done 1 week back, and the leopard was in last stage. I provided them at 2:30 in the morning, 10 heaters, blowers, made him revive, left him in the wild. Now he is enjoying.
Ah,
Fantastic. Fantastic. Kudos, Mr. Sohag. I'm really, I think people must know what is going on in the wildlife of India, and the public must know about that. And through this medium, we have been able to reach out to them to make them really understand a little bit of this side of the story of, human killings by the man eaters, and how you're trying to help the villagers, and how you're trying to uh, kind of preserve a kind of a natural environment also at the same time, so that there is no shortage of non-human kind of what the animals want, because it is the lack of the animals which drives a lot of these animals, even the tigers, to jump at humans. So,
No,
and you
but
have been doing a fantastic job.
tigers have no made
Yeah,
no damage to the human being because
tigers
of
have become more become more docile as compared to the bears,
yeah, still
the leopards, even the wild boar. You were telling me, even the
yeah.
wild boar have done more
Why?
killings than the
Next,
tigers.
number two injuries were done by wild boars. Number one was leopard. Number two, wild boar. Number one
Yeah,
was deer. Number two, leopard. Number three, wild boar.
yeah.
टाइगर वॉज जीरो बेचारा बिना बात के नाम से मर रहा है
बदनाम है टाइगर बदनाम है लेकिन anyway, thank you so much, gentlemen.
थैंक यू
It's
थैंक यू
been a
थैंक
very interesting chat. Thank you, Mr. Sohag, and thank you, Ali, for being on the
thank you,
show.
यू
thank you,
Thanks a lot.
थैंक यू अली थैंक यू
thank you, Surak Saab.